This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Want to pull off the season's freshest trends? You just need the right shoes. That's where Designer Shoe Warehouse comes in. Loving wide-leg jeans? Pair them with sleek, low-profile sneakers. Obsessed with the sheer trend? Try it with mesh flats. Feeling boho? Comfy sandals nail the whole free-spirited thing. Find on-trend shoes from the brands you love, like Birkenstock, Nike, Adidas, and more at DSW.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
What's up, PA? This is Murph. Here's that call. McCarthy to Jets, wide receiver screen, barrel roll, turns on the afterburners, touchdown. Thank you for flying Triple J Airlines. Green Bay, remember to get your L at the baggage claim.
Seatbelts, please. Hi, Rube. Alec Lewis, The Athletic, theathletic.com, has joined us in the 651 Carpets Plus studios. Please follow him via Twitter, if you are so inclined, as 9 to noon does, at Alecka.
Podcast, too.
_Lewis. What do you mean, podcast?
I have a podcast.
Hi, Rube. Wait. When did you start a podcast?
I don't know. It's been almost like a year now.
Oh, geez.
I've done like 87 episodes.
Is it called the Alec Lewis Show?
It is exactly what it's called. You can find it on the iHeartRadio app and everywhere you get your podcasts.
Mm-hmm. But at Alecka_Lewis.
That's why I come in. Self-promotion.
Yeah, that's you.
Right.
Just look over there and... Man, I've just about ended 3 friendships, and I see. But it's great having you here, man.
Yeah, it's great to see you.
Can't thank you.
And good morning, too, by the way.
And good morning, braving the elements out there. I mean,
it's awful.
An Alabama kid having to drive through a deluge like this. Are you kidding me? You never saw anything like this down Anniston Way.
I just want some consistency with the weather. Just some. I've been under the speaking of weather, I've been under the weather for a week. I think part of it is
great that you came in here.
Yeah, no problem. You're the one who wanted me in here.
If you say claim on the radio, you're under the weather, and you stand within 5 feet of this microphone I'm using, Barrero might quit.
I always love that one.
Or certainly not come in today. So we have to hit dump buttons for things like that because there is fear over faith. I'm not that person.
Sure.
But others are.
There is fear over faith. You're right. It's been tough. I don't know if it's been hot and cold and hot and cold. I've seen these dandelion things floating in the wind. Is that getting in my system? I don't really know.
Well, you get you blow it, and then like when you were little Alec running through the dandelion farm.
That's exactly right.
Right. The vast and ever expanding forest and fields with dandelions, and Alec doesn't run; he skips. Yeah. So therefore, with a gavotte, nonetheless. But see, where you live, I know where you live. Mm-hmm. So it has to be the dandelion bits, either that or debris from some incinerator that's around the corner, and all of a sudden your lungs are getting polluted because you don't live by cotton trees. You know what I mean? So this is the time of the year where you will see it's I did something last week at the facility with a group.
Oh, how is Kevin O'Connell?
I didn't see him, but you can ask about the late Billy Graham and I might be able to answer.
I always love that one.
This group was from a show called the 700 Club, and we filmed something at Twin Cities Orthopedic Performance Center, and one of them, the questioner was from Nashville, but the assistants were from Virginia Beach. And they were complimenting the state and everything. And they were like, well, what's all the white stuff? Like what's floating in, it's cotton, because there's.
Is it cotton? Seifert was saying that yesterday.
No, there's an unbelievable amount of cotton in the air right now.
Seifert was saying cotton. I was like, I don't know if that's cotton, but I mean, I'm not a geological elite mind or an
agronomist.
Yeah, whatever you want to call. Like, I'm not. So I don't know what it was. Seifert seemed like he really knew what he was talking about.
He's lived here longer than you.
And he usually does know what he's talking about. So anyway,
well, when it comes to the whispering willow. Is that a tree?
I don't know.
Okay, the willow trees.
I just said I wasn't a elite.
Well, but you're observant. So when you were growing up Anniston way,
right,
there had to be willow trees and just these beautiful Alabama trees and landscape and everything, right?
Yeah, there was beautiful landscape in Alabama. There's beautiful landscape here. I mean, that's part of the greatness of life is the landscape everywhere, for sure.
You're telling me in all your days with every place you've been, I mean, from the Sun Sentinel or the Journal Sentinel, whatever in Milwaukee, to writing for USA Today and Reed Cherner in Southern California, to here, Alabama, Missouri, where you went to school. You've never come across cotton from a cotton tree.
I mean, I guess. I don't know, but you see a lot of it here. Like, I remember I played golf last summer.
How is Tim Siegley in First Resource Bank?
Yeah, this is what I was going to say. We played at Delwood. Very nice club. I couldn't believe I was able to be out there.
Of course he's a member.
I mean, I played terribly. I feel bad. I think there were people like, who's this guy out here? But they had a lot of cotton, if that's what it was out there. And that's when I really started to notice. I mean, that's the other thing.
The allergies.
Right. That's when I mean, I'm sure I saw cotton over the course of my life, but at 27 years old at the time, that's when it really hit me. So.
Right. I saw your tweet to Mad Producer yesterday. I happen to agree. Jalen Naylor is all yoked up and thicker and bigger. And I caught some of the confab on Friday, but I didn't catch this part. So what with Jalen? Like, what's the long play with the body transformation and wide receiver Jalen Naylor?
Yeah, so he walked off the field yesterday, and you know this because you've probably been around him. Like, he's not a loud guy. He's kind of a quiet guy, kind of I'm not saying hard to talk to, but he's not like Mr. Show Me type guy. And so he was standing behind Keenan McCardell, like having some post-practice energy, whatever they give them to recover or something or another. And I said to Jalen, I said, have you put on weight? And he's like, yeah, 2 pounds. I'm thinking, it's not, there's 2 pounds. He looks way bigger than 2 pounds.
That was it?
But then he said to me, he's done some different stuff with his workout regimen. So I don't know. He just looks bigger. He is. And I said this to Nordo, and Justin confirmed it yesterday, but I said this to Nordo, usually when a guy changes numbers from a big number to a small number.
What is he, 1?
He's 1 now.
Yeah, he went to 1.
Yeah, and 83 is Silas Bolden. Just keep that in mind for your...
And Mekhi Blackman, was he 5 last year before taking the L?
Yeah, he's...
Because I saw a 5 out there. I'm like, damn, who's 5?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, it's Mekhi.
That's Blackman, but... Usually when you go smaller numbers, you look more jittery, quick, athletic, and Jalen just looks so big that it just blows me away.
I'm sorry, man. I mean, I know I keep clipping here because I love you. You're like a surrogate kid to me, man.
I had to bring it up again.
You just said...
The science proves it. I'm not
You just said somebody wearing a lower number just looks more slithery and sleek and faster and athletic?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, and this guy's a good football player.
Jalen?
No. Ivan Pace Jr., who wears 0, the lowest of the numbers. What is slithery and sleek about him? He's good. He hits hard, but it ain't slithery and sleek.
I wouldn't know. Yeah, no, I don't know if I'd call Ivan Pace Jr. sleek. But I would. He is slippery. I mean, the way he dips and rips under offensive guards and stuff like that.
If he wore 74, he wouldn't be slippery?
He would look way slower, way
You're running
more
a bit
plodding
right now, aren't you?
Well, it's kind of become a bit. But I told Nordo this yesterday. I also have I have another thing I was thinking about yesterday.
He got crushed for this on Friday, but then he was vindicated because there was a study. It's the psychology of seeing players.
Wow.
With lower numbers.
Wow.
There is the perception that they are sleeker or more jittery and faster. So
I shouldn't be going back to this as well. But.
He was vindicated by the medical community, I guess, or the scientific community, I should say.
But here's the other
Holy
thing.
cow.
Here's the other thing I have that I was thinking about yesterday. So Isaiah Rodgers was out there. First time he didn't practice
he wasn't there Friday.
in the first voluntary, but I was looking forward to seeing him.
Me too.
He wears number 2, so he's obviously fast. But the most impressive or the thing that hit me yesterday was he intercepted JJ, and we'll probably talk about JJ because
Bastard.
I think by contract we have to.
Which one did he intercept?
McCarthy.
Jefferson's 4 of 6, 5 of 7 passing. Which JJ?
But the point is, Isaiah Rodgers, he walked out to the practice field wearing these bright yellow gloves and bright yellow shoes.
Oh, goodness.
And the thing...
No, that's great. From an announcer standpoint, I love when they do that.
And here's... When you wear, like, bright colors, electric yellow, lime green, for me, it's like an instant swagger display. Mm-hmm. And it really, I automatically think of you highly when I see like some crazy colors like that. And then to see him intercept, it was just validating from what I expected out of Isaiah Rodgers. But
what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
I mean, it's June, and you bring me in here to talk about OTAs, which is the equivalent of watching professional golfers on a driving range. So I'm going to say some dumb stuff. That's kind of how it goes.
Well, that's by choice. I mean, that's your will to go down the road and to say stuff like that. I'm not offended by it at all. I find it to be humorous. That's why we compensate. Well, that's why we asked you to come in.
Yeah, exactly right.
So, I'm just trying to wrap my mind around a number 2 with bright gold, yellow gloves and or cleats. Oof. What's he have? Okay, so that's natural swag appeal.
Almost, yeah.
That's natural swag appeal.
Well, when you have a low number and natural swag appeal, I mean, that's when you really start to, you're really standing out. But I will say, I was very excited to see Isaiah Rodgers because on a serious note, it has felt like from the time they made him the first signee in free agency that they really believe in this guy. And, I mean, with the makeup of the cornerback room, I mean, he's going to have to be what they hope him to be with how things stand right now. And so it's good to see him out there.
Let's unpack this because it's bits aside.
Yeah,
it's interesting the road down which you were traveling, because if you believe that the team, is quasi shipping all in-ish to get to and or win the Super Bowl. Allen, Hargrave, Kelly, Fries, lots of injuries last year. Yes, we trust Tyler.
$357 million in cash on the 2025 roster, which is the most of any team in the NFL.
So well done. So if you believe they are a corner short, okay, if you happen to believe they're a corner short from what their grand plan is with kind of the cliched window, here's the question. It's very interesting you brought this up. It involves Jalen Ramsey. And Alec wrote about Jalen Ramsey. I believe you did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of your most recent pieces, along with Jordan Mason and Sneaky and the whole thing. The Athletic, theathletic.com. Let's layer it. Do you think they love Maryland rookie receiver Ty Felton? Do you think at this stage of the equation, from the background work you're doing, whatever you're hearing and or seeing, that they're falling in love with that drafted wide receiver.
Like for right now?
To play. I mean, to play in the third most significant wide receiver role behind Jefferson and Addison.
No, I think Jalen Naylor's still that guy.
Okay, right. Okay, now if he wasn't, here's the question. Because if they do love him, if they do, and I don't know that they do, I couldn't pick him out of a two-person lineup standing next to Phil McConkey. But nevertheless, if they do love him, then maybe the beefed-up Naylor heads to Miami as part of a Jalen Ramsey deal.
No, I don't.
Okay.
No.
I'm spitballing. I'm not, we're not going to argue about Diana Rossini for 30 minutes and have people think we hate each other for the next year. I'm not sharing it that way.
I see Jalen Naylor. I see Jalen Naylor as a...
Miami needs a receiver.
They need a lot of things.
I know, but they also need a receiver who does not make a ton of cash. And somebody on whom I'm spitballing here.
Yeah. I don't. Maybe you have some steam that I don't have on Jalen Naylor, but I see Jalen Naylor as an integral piece to what they want to accomplish this year. If Jordan Addison is suspended at the beginning of the season, you need a guy who knows every position on the offense to play receiver.
Well, I keep forgetting about that. That's going to be a thing, right?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it definitely could be, but Jalen Naylor, obviously. What stands in a lot of people's minds, rightfully, is the drop he had in Los Angeles on that Thursday night game. Yeah. There was a downfield drop at some point in the season that I'm forgetting the specifics of. And Jalen, I mean, from the lack
of the muff punt at Lambeau.
Yeah, the lack of health. Oh, yeah, that was brutal. Yep. The lack of health the first 2 years and then a little bit of inconsistency last year. I get why people be skeptical, but this guy's been in the system. We joke about it, but
O'Connell loves him.
He does look very good. And I just, Ty Felton, yes, was drafted where he was drafted, but I have a hard time imagining that Ty Felton is going to just step right in and be some every down contributor. I don't.
Well, you don't have to go every down when you have Jones and Mason, Hawkinson and Oliver.
Well,
you got Jefferson and Addison every down. But no, that third receiver could be myriad players.
Well, I think that I was just about to go down the point that you just did. With how it sounds like they want to play this year, which is physicality, run game, established line of scrimmage, keep the defense more fresh, play into January, all of the stuff we've heard 700 times already and are going to hear it more.
If you're bored with the beat, I'm sure you could join Dan Hayes. You know a lot about baseball.
I do. I really.
You could book Locaine for this radio show. We could talk about winning a World Series with the Royals.
There's times I was watching last night a little bit of Joe Ryan and all this stuff. But
that sounds fun.
Yeah. I was enjoying.
And what is the name of that West Sacramento ballpark where the Athletics play?
Luis Savarino sat down 11 guys in a row at one point. But the point I was making was dovetailing off what you said. Mm-hmm. I do, with how they want to play, having two tight ends and leaning even further into 12 personnel, which is two tight ends and two receivers and one running back. That is probably a path which mitigates the amount of snaps on receiver 3 anyway. But no, with the Jalen Naylor thing, I have not heard anything to.
I'm not asking if you've heard anything. Okay, let me change.
But I don't like the idea of that anyway. No,
I'm kids who miss curfew. Hold on. Buddy, I'm not asking you if you have any steam or anything on Jalen Naylor. I'm just merely wondering if they like Ty Felton because you're out there more than me.
I've seen. Here's the thing,
buddy.
Buddy, I don't know why
you're my buddy.
I don't know. Sometimes I don't think people understand what it is like to watch an OTAs practice. You understand this, but the fans.
Well, regular practice is boring too.
Well, I'm so grateful for the job I have, and you can glean certain things.
Right.
But I've seen Ty Felton 3 times in my life, and I don't know if I've ever seen J.J. McCarthy throw him a pass. And I also, yesterday...
because they're hiding it.
Yesterday, yeah, I'm sure. And yesterday, I took a video of, Ty Felton running a route on air where he leaps off the line of scrimmage, he turns, he pirouettes. But, I haven't seen it against any defender who is meaningful to have any real observation of what Ty Felton is. I'm
sorry, buddy. I'm sorry, man. Alec, buddy, I'm sorry to be confrontational in quasi fashion.
Sure,
it's difficult for me. Now you missed curfew by 90 minutes. Okay, we're going to talk about that more tomorrow. But it's difficult for me to hear from you a DB or a corner of significance when we're within 2 months, and I subscribe to The Athletic, of me reading about a Utah cornerback who you basically made undrafted sound like a cross between Lester Hayes, Darrell Green, and Deion Sanders.
No, I actually...
Okay, but he was undrafted, so what if that's the... what kind of corner? I'm sorry. Consider what kind of corner he's going against.
No, I like Zamiah Vaughn, the Utah undrafted player. He's one of the sneaky of what I have seen since I've been out there. He's a guy...
he blew me away the other day, physically speaking. No, I'm not kidding you. I mean, because I read the story and I hadn't seen the guy. And then I saw he's Joejuan Williams, long and strong. And I'm like, okay, well, we're just hoping he's not built like Tarzan and plays like Jane. We're hoping that he can just come into this whole thing. You know what I mean?
No, but here, like, to be very serious here, to me, all of the conversation around Jalen Ramsey that fans have had, you guys have probably had, like, it is a question more than anything else of, are they as confident in the cornerback room as it has sounded and as they have showed that they are from the beginning of this offseason? Like, and if the answer is they are still confident, then the Ramsey conversation is not worth like having as much. It's not worth continuing. But I also, like, I was standing out there yesterday at practice and I'm thinking, they're showing some nickel groupings and you're seeing Byron Murphy Jr., Isaiah Rodgers, and Jeff Okudah. And I'm thinking to myself, man, if one of those guys goes down, then you're relying in nickel groupings on, let's say, Byron Murphy, Jeff Okudah, and Mekhi Blackman coming off the ACL. And maybe Nudie, or Zamiah Vaughn.
With the strip.
But that is, I mean, you're expecting a lot out of that group. And so maybe their answer to, would you be okay with that, would be, we have so much faith in our front, in our pass rush, that will cover. We have faith in our system to cover for cornerbacks. But that's relying on a lot for a team that is as invested in the present as they are.
I'm with you, man.
And that's why it's an interesting conversation.
Well, if you can put analytics in it if you want, buddy.
Why are you doing that?
Because you're my buddy. But never.
No, what is that?
It's stuck in his head. He's not going to stop.
Okay. But nevertheless, to close this segment, Jalen Ramsey, take the Pro Football Focus numbers and take all that out of it. Just from what you hear, what you know, can Jalen Ramsey still play? Because that's the only part of the equation that seems to be left out when everybody talks about it, is like, I just wonder, can he still play? I mean, at one point he was sticky lockdown corner guy.
Yeah.
Then he almost talked himself out of the league. I mean, he was a real live wire wild card with the way he acted, from what I understand, in other places. But nevertheless, talent's going to supersede. Smarts will supersede certain things where some people have guidelines and some have rules. I just wonder at this stage of his career, can he still play?
That's a great question. And I haven't, I got to be honest, I have not watched film of him last year.
Yeah. And you're good at that.
To have a very, I like,
no, you are.
Well, I just like, I like when you're going to make have an opinion, to me, it just has to be informed. Or so any opinion that I have on Jalen Ramsey's play last year would be uninformed at this point. I haven't done a lot of conversation about it. I would say his history would tell you that, like, and even his age, he's going to turn 31 in October. Like, you probably have more faith in what he could provide than what Stephon Gilmore or Shaq Griffin provided last year. And they were both solid at times. But that is a good question, and it is ultimately probably the three-pronged questions that this front office, personnel staff, defensive staff will ask within this conversation of whether it makes sense or not. Is, what does the money look like? How confident are we with the current cornerback room that we have? And then can he still play? And if that is answered by them as not really, then it's not a talker worth.
Well, it's crazy that they gave him that 3, and now only 30 of it was guaranteed. But at the beginning of last year, they gave him that 3-year, $70-some million deal.
Miami did?
Yeah. So after his 2023, they felt good enough to put that in his pocket. again, only 29 of it ultimately guaranteed, but that kind of forces the new team, i.e. the Vikings, maybe it's the Rams or whoever, to have that conversation financially. So it doesn't fit, everything that I'm reading, his game, we're not talking, and he provided good moments for us at times, but it's not like a Stephon Gilmore, we're trying to relive 2019. I think he's had good days significantly more recently.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But to what end and how much does this rat race for a new team impact his year this time around?
That's the producer, Nordo, and I'm Paul Allen. Alec Lewis with The Athletic and theathletic.com is with us in studio. We are discussing the Minnesota Vikings and things transpiring in the offseason. Might get into the NBA Finals around the corner.
What about the quarterback?
The quarterback?
Yeah, should we talk about that, or would you rather talk about the NBA Finals?
Last time we did that, you texted me for a week looking for a place on the radio to apologize about some things you said about Sam Howell. So sure, we can go down that road if you want.
Someone asked me yesterday, how does Sam Howell look? I'm like, I got to be honest. I haven't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But fine young man, rocket for an arm, turns it over a little too much sometimes. I'm Alec Lewis, and that's my verbal personal apology to the Howell family for things I said a month ago.
We'll talk about the NBA Finals. I'm looking forward to this.
That's what I thought, buddy. 90 News.
There's a moment every parent remembers. The day their child takes off on 2 wheels. With Guardian Bikes, that moment comes as early as 2 years old, and with less stress and frustration. These bikes are built just for kids. Lightweight frames, low center of gravity, easy to use brakes. Everything about Guardian is designed to help kids ride confidently, often in just one day, no training wheels needed. And because Guardian bikes are designed and assembled right here in the USA, they're built to last. With care in every detail. Their patented SureStop braking system stops both wheels with a single lever, helping your child stop safely without tripping forward or losing control. Right now, save hundreds when comparing Guardian to its competitors at GuardianBikes.com and get a free lock and pump when you join their newsletter, a $50 value. Visit GuardianBikes.com today to save and help your child learn an essential life skill safely. Guardian Bikes, built for your kid and for the memories you'll never forget.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Continues out. So just to close on this, do you think they have interest, they being this team here, they have interest in Ramsey? I mean, you wrote about it this week for The Athletic. So now we get to, can he still play? What do we think of Nudie? Seifert likes, what was the line that Nordo came up with? And
Nudie with the strip.
Yeah, Kevin tweeted about it. Kevin gave you a compliment over there, Mr. Nordquist. Nudie with the strip. Old school, best school. And what would the compensation be? So just wondering, heart of hearts, do you think they have interest?
It would probably be, the money stuff
right
is where it gets interesting. I mean, they right now, if you look at like the cap space, they've got about $18 million for 2025, which provides them an opportunity to do something if that's how they choose to go about it, but they also could roll that money over in the next year, where right now they're like $53 million over the cap for next season.
Ooh.
And there are a lot of levers.
Really?
Yeah, they are. And there's
how do you get out of that?
Well, there's a lot of levers they can pull. I mean, there's like Brian O'Neill's contract is going to have to be, that'll be a talker at some point. TJ Hawkinson's, Justin, Darrisaw, like those can be restructured to where you just keep pushing money back. I know fans probably don't want to hear that they're doing that, but there's a lot of levers that they can pull. But if you add Jalen Ramsey, then it kind of just affects that even further. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if the Dolphins end up trading him. Are they going to pay down money for that? Or is any team going to balk at that? Or are they just going to have to cut him, and then that would open the door for a new contract like that? I'm never going to rule it out. Because this front office and coaching staff have been very creative and nimble over the past few years, but they have not shown that they are skeptical of their corner room at all. And that's going back to signing Isaiah Rodgers and signing Jeff Okudah. Like, those were players they targeted and wanted to bring in and did. So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Okay, the KO and Kwesi regime. General Manager Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, now extended like O'Connell. They've won a ton of regular season games here over 3 years, but no playoff wins. What identifies the O'Connell and Kwesi regime? What do you think are some key identifiable parts of it, Mr. Alec?
Yeah, the two ways I'd answer it would be very concerned with process and like allowing the outcome to kind of to speak for itself, but being very, very focused on how you structure things and then letting the chips fall where they may. And then also not like pigeonholing or shoehorning themselves into one specific like plan. I mean, they've always given themselves so many outs in everything they've done, whether it's, quarterback, whether, and really it's not, they have not been afraid to let good be the enemy of great. And that really, to me, like the best example of that is moving off of Kirk Cousins, who, yes, he coming back from his torn Achilles. There was questions there, but you kind of knew what you were getting with Kirk, and they were okay taking the plunge without both of them had not been extended at the time. Yeah. And they were both willing to draft the young quarterback, which comes with an incredible amount of uncertainty. And there are a lot of teams throughout the league who just pay the guy that they have because that's what you do. Like Dallas, they've done it with Dak. Miami, they've done it with Tua. You kind of just pay the guy you have because why would you risk drafting a guy and it working out terribly? So that's what I'd say. And then, I mean, the culture buzzword kind of annoys me because it's just like every sports organization, every business, culture. Like, what is that actually? But they have made Minnesota a place that agents and players look at they respect.
Especially college free agents. Because they know they'll get more cash here than from most teams. And they'll get a chance, that they're actually going to be given a chance in the offseason to make the active roster. Fair?
Yeah, for sure. But it's also even like Will Fries. I mean, the competition for that guy was immense. He chose to go to a place that he'd never been before, and because of how he believes that the Vikings treat their players. I mean, you hear it all the time in my role. Like, I talk to the parents of certain players, and most of them are so satisfied with where their child is because of what they hear about the way this place treats players. So that's how I view what these two have established with this regime. And now the challenge for them is to win a playoff game. I mean, they've been here 3 years. They've done a lot of great things. They've won double-digit games twice. They've smoothed out the salary cap. They've made it a destination.
Tough spot last year.
I'm not.
Giant spot at home. Tough spot. It's a playoff game. Nah.
It's a tough spot.
That one needs to be won.
The NFL playoffs are tough spots.
Yep.
I mean, that's how
the first one needs to be won.
All I'm saying is 3 years in, both have been extended, paid a lot of money, had a lot of opportunity. And now again, $357 million paid on the 2025 roster in cash, which is the most in the NFL. So you can't get 4 years in, and we can talk about all these positives, but if you're not winning playoff games, you know better than I do, having been around this league longer than I have. It is a bottom line business.
What with what you hear, or the two times the media has been permitted to watch, what are you seeing with J.J. McCarthy? And I've seen your tweets, and I've seen other people's snarky tweets about, here's a video of McCarthy, doing this, which means they're going to win 14, which means he's going to have 40 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. I get that with this time of the year, of course, class on the grass, as the head coach calls it,
the teaching and learning phase.
But when you watch JJ, you've watched a lot of football, man, and being an Alabama college football fan, you saw Tua at his very best. You've seen some quarterbacks either professionally or collegiately who you just know that's it.
I watched Mahomes a ton. When I lived in Kansas City, covered the Royals. Like those first few Mahomes years, I went to a ton of those games. I like to think I have a pretty good feel. Yeah. What I've said with JJ, that first OTAs practice that we were out there, if you had paused time after that preseason game and then pressed play on when I saw him last week, I don't know if I could have told a difference between how he looked. Like the arm looked good, he looked comfortable. I was like, this is good. Like watching him that first OTAs practice, I was like, all right, like this is the guy that you hope to see. The way I think you asked JJ Wednesday a really, really good question I want to get into, but go ahead. Yeah, no, but I would say, like, I tweeted this yesterday because I saw that Pro Football Talk had a story about how Sam Darnold threw 2 picks in the Seahawks OTAs. Yeah,
you assassinated Florio.
No, I did not.
Well, wait till I bring it up tomorrow.
He does
at 9:40. It's going to sound like that, and he's going to come right at you.
No, he does a phenomenal job. But you're the best. But what I tweeted essentially, like, analyzing OTAs practices and quarterbacks is like evaluating a golfer's range session before like a major round at the Masters. And what I mean by that is,
I always love that one.
Like you don't know, just like with a golfer's range session, you don't know what pin they're trying to hit it at, what type of shot they may or may not be trying. So it's like in evaluating JJ, like I can see where he's throwing the football, but I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't know what the play's asking him to do.
Right.
And so
why does that matter to you? Because you subscribe to Pro Football Focus, and that's how they've made zillions of dollars. Exactly the same way. No, but I mean, hello.
No.
Anyway, go ahead.
I like PFF. I don't know.
Yeah, right. But you don't like not knowing what plays McCarthy's running.
I just.
And you have access to O'Connell, not Chris Collinsworth.
But Kevin is savvy. Kevin's not going to after practice.
And Chris isn't?
No. I don't know what you're even talking.
Okay, continue, buddy.
No, Kevin after practice is not going to say, "Hey, Alec, come over here, Alec." So on that interception,
he does with Ben.
So yeah, he does. So on that interception, Alec, here's what we were doing. We ran the Z short, X out, X Z, and JJ was progressing 2 to 3, and he mixed the pure progression. It doesn't work like that, even though I'd love it to work like that.
You're sheer joy.
So I mean, as long as JJ's healthy, as long as he looks like he's in command out there, it's good for me. And they're throwing a lot at him. And I think that's the best part of this, is they are not, like, babying him through this process, and they shouldn't be. There's going to be a lot on his shoulders come September if he is indeed the starter that we all hope he is. So why make it easy for him? And that's the one. Like Kevin O'Connell is this nice. He presents himself so well, but I do think the one aspect with quarterback development that he really values is making it difficult, challenging guys, and you see that on the day-to-day.
The last Friday in the O'Connell press conference, was it you? I believe it was you, and I was across from you, that asked McCarthy about the talk to defensive coaches bit?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, maybe that was somebody who was, somebody asked, like after practices or plays or what, do you talk to defensive coaches? And then he's like, no, I haven't, but I should. And it sounded like he will and stuff like that. You see, that's the impressionable nature of this 22-year-old young man, that he still sees his professional lot in life through the eyes of a child. And I really don't want that to change because I've said it before, and really until we start hearing them or seeing them, I haven't said it to you, but, I don't think people get it until they can feel it, touch it, smell it, or see it. And here's what I mean. When the Vikings take a dramatic, spine-tingling loss in the regular season, or they win one of those 2023 games, 2020, 2022 games. This young man at the podium, it's going to be must listen, must watch, WhatTV.com, whatever, because he's going to open veins and he feels life. He just feels his profession. He opens up enough so that he's not compromising. You can blame me all you want, but homeboy over there ran the wrong route. He's not like that. But he's so open that I can't wait for his post-game press conferences.
Agree. I mean, this is a kid in high school who had like a binder full of quotes and nuggets that he would write down after watching videos of like Kobe Bryant and Brady. I remember last year going to outside of Chicago, sitting with his dad on the back porch, and he was showing me pictures of this binder, and it's like Kobe's 10 things and like he would just read this. He's like, he really has that motivation, that drive.
Yeah. My biggest concern about J.J. McCarthy, and I think we can be a lockstep on this, his uniform number.
I always love that one.
It's too high to be fast and athletic. And
no, it's low. It's 9. It's single digit.
It's 9. That's right.
Right. If it was double digit, right.
Oh, we're on to something here.
Right.
Finally, how's Scott Agnes? And when do you leave? Scott Agnes covers the Indiana Pacers.
I don't think we have a Pacers
The
writer.
Athletic, theathletic.com.
No, I don't think
I thought you were going to be a sidebar guy and gravy train your way into elite seats for the NBA Finals and actually never do anything with the exception of whisper a post-game press conference question.
I wrote 3 stories during the playoffs.
Yeah, I read them all.
And I wish I could do sidebar duty for the NBA Finals. I'm really looking forward to the basketball of this.
Me
and
too.
I laugh because you hear all the time, oh, small markets, oh, man, this is, the ESPN's not going to be, and I'm like, I don't care.
I don't either.
Like, also,
it's going to be awesome.
Who cares about the ratings? The NBA just did like a $70 billion deal. So anyway.
You're the best.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate you, brother. And I'll see you soon, all right?
Yep, sounds good.
Alec Lewis,
There's a moment every parent remembers. The day their child takes off on 2 wheels. With Guardian Bikes, that moment comes as early as 2 years old, and with less stress and frustration. These bikes are built just for kids. Lightweight frames, low center of gravity, easy-to-use brakes. Everything about Guardian is designed to help kids ride confidently, often in just 1 day, no training wheels needed. And because Guardian bikes are designed and assembled right here in the USA, you know they're built to last. With care in every detail. Their patented Sure-Stop braking system stops both wheels with a single lever, helping your child stop safely without tripping forward or losing control. Right now, save hundreds when comparing Guardian to its competitors at GuardianBikes.com and get a free lock and pump when you join their newsletter, a $50 value. Visit GuardianBikes.com today to save and help your child learn an essential life skill safely. Guardian Bikes, built for your kid and for the memories you'll never forget.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Athletic, be right back.
Fox.
Programs around the corner. Thank you very much for listening. Elite talkbacks today. Excellent idea by Nordo with Dealer's Choice, and the listeners continue to come through. The program is next. I'm Paul Allen. Here's Nordo putting a wrap on the show.
Time for 2 more.
The game is over.
Just listen. Just listen.
Alec trying hard. He's certainly dedicated. Laughing gas cranked up. He's always rolling elated. Gold cleats and bright gloves. It's PST. Vikes fans remember too. Cordrea Tankersley. Maybe the goal is less swag. Not begging the refs to flow defensive holding flags. You gotta see the forest for all the trees. Is that a cottonwood seed or part of a Haynes tea? It's JJ to Jets. Justin's the master. Alec notes that Naylor's new number makes him faster. It's rainy days and the willows are weeping. It's a whispering breeze. Perfect weather for sleeping. Now today, whether or not to trade for KD, does the baseball team find its way to your TV? Whatever happened to Sauce's uncle, UP? Hot topics 9 to noon. Always controversy.
I love you, PA. You are the best.
Podcast today's Paul Allen show or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
Are you still quoting 30-year-old movies? Have you said cool beans in the past 90 days? Do you think Discover isn't widely accepted? If this sounds like you, you're stuck in the past. Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. And every time you make a purchase with your card, you automatically earn cash back. Welcome to the now. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard, based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Okay, have you heard about this? Last year, Degree changed the formula for their Cool Rush deodorant. Their fans rebelled and wanted the old scent back. And Degree listened. That doesn't happen often.
They admitted that they effed up and are bringing the original Cool Rush scent back. And it's exactly how you remember it. Cool, crisp, and fresh. There's a reason it's the #1 men's antiperspirant, and it's back in Walmart, Target, and other stores for under $4.
So try it and see what the fuss is about. Head to your local stores to try the OG Cool Rush for yourself.
Does Friendly have a taste? If it does, it's probably like Hello's peppermint-flavored anti-plaque and whitening toothpaste. Brush away plaque, show tartar who's boss, and remove surface stains to naturally whiten. Hello's thoughtful and flavor-forward products make brushing your teeth feel like a confetti-filled bathroom dance party. So say hello to Hello with the always cruelty-free, never tested on animals toothpaste that's made to spread smiles. Visit HelloProducts.com and let Hello add some everyday yay into your life.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.